Welcome to Headstones and Microphones, where we use AI to step into the past through a researched, first-person simulation of history's most interesting people. I am your host, Calvin. While we've added some creative storytelling, our goal is to inspire your own study of these fascinating lives. Now, let's meet our guest. For those who may somehow not know who you are you?
Hey, Calvin. To answer your question, most people out there know me as Brian O'Connor from the Fast and the Furious movies. But I'm just Paul Walker.
When and where were you born?
I was born on September 12th, 1973, right in Glendale, California.
What was your given name at birth?
My full given name at birth was Paul William Walker IV.
Is there a story behind your birth name?
Oh, definitely. It's a big family tradition. Carrying that IV meant I was named directly after my dad, Paul William Walker III, who was a sewer contractor and actually a two-time Golden Gloves champion boxer. And it goes right on up the line through my grandfather and great-grandfather.
What was your hometown like growing up?
I grew up mostly in the Sunland Tujunga neighborhood of Los Angeles, and man, it was a beautiful place to be a kid. You had the sun, the hills, and we weren't too far from the ocean. It gave me this massive appreciation for the outdoors right from the start.
What was your family life like?
It was busy, loud, and full of love. My mom, Cheryl, was a fashion model, and like I mentioned, my dad was a hard-working contractor and fighter. I was the oldest of 5 kids, so I grew up looking after my brothers, Caleb and Cody, and my sisters, Amy and Ashley. We were a tight-knit bunch.
What kind of kid were you?
I was a pretty easygoing, free-spirited kid. My friends actually nicknamed me Vagrant because I just couldn't stay in one place for very long. I was always running around, super into sports, and I had a massive passion for surfing. If I wasn't at school, I was looking for the next wave.
What did you dream of becoming as a child?
You know, even though I got into show business early, my absolute dream was to be a marine biologist. I was completely fascinated by the ocean from the time I was a little guy, and I absolutely idolized the ocean explorer Jacques Cousteau.
What were some of your favorite activities in school?
When I was attending Village Christian School, sports and anything outdoorsy were my go-to activities. Anything that let me stay active, compete, and hang out with my buddies was right up my alley.
What was your first job?
Well, my absolute first job came when I was just a toddler. Because my mom was a model, I got recruited into show business early and starred in a television commercial for Pampers when I was only 2 years old. Later on, I did a commercial for Showbiz Pizza in 1984.
What's a decision that changed everything for you, but felt small at the time?
It had to be continuing to take acting gigs in the late 90s. I had gone to community college to study marine biology and always had one foot in the entertainment business and one foot out. Taking roles in films like Meet the Deedles or Pleasantville felt like fun side projects at the time, but they paved the way for everything that followed.
What was your biggest break?
Without a doubt, it was the 1999 movie Varsity Blues, where I played the quarterback Lance Harbor. That role really put me on the map in Hollywood, and it directly led to me being scouted and cast in the very first Fast and the Furious movie in 2001.
What job would you have had if fame never happened?
I always used to joke with my manager about this. I would have happily been a park ranger or a full-time marine biologist. Working with nature and being out in the wild was where my heart always felt the most at peace.
What was your life like before fame?
It was simple and grounded. I was just a California kid going to community college, studying the ocean, surfing every chance I got, and taking auditions here and there to help get by.
What misconceptions did people have about you?
Because of the roles I played early on, people sometimes thought I was just this stereotypical, brawny Hollywood guy. But I loved to read, I loved science, and I cared deeply about the planet. There was a lot more to me than just what was on the movie screen.
Who had the biggest influence on your life?
My family had a massive influence, but honestly, the ocean itself and the work of Jacques Cousteau shaped so much of how I viewed the world, how I wanted to protect it, and how I wanted to live my life with a sense of adventure.
What were you working on in your career before you passed away?
I was right in the middle of filming Furious 7, and I had also been working on an action film called Brick Mansions, where I actually had to learn parkour and bound all over the city of Montreal.
When and where and how did you pass away, and how old were you?
I passed away on November 30th, 2013, in Santa Clarita, California. I was 40 years old, and it happened when I was a passenger in a single vehicle car accident after leaving a charity event for my organization, Reach Out Worldwide.
What's a random fact about you most people have never heard?
A lot of people don't know that I was actually originally set to play the character of Jim Street in the 2003 movie SWAT. I had even started the physical training for the part, but I ended up backing out so I could reprise my role as Brian O'Connor in Two Man Too Furious instead.
What was your favorite food?
I was a pretty simple guy when it came down to it. Being a California surfer, nothing beat a really good fresh street taco or a great burger after a long day out on the water.
What advice would you give people chasing success?
I would tell them to remember what truly matters. The daily grind can feel like a machine that's endlessly cranking, and we run around trying to juggle all these balls. But when they hit the floor, there's no need to panic. Focus on what's important and what is of the heart: family, friends, and giving back. The rest of it is just nonsense.
Paul, do you have any closing remarks about the interview or the stories you shared that you would like to share with the listeners before we sign off?
Just that it was an absolute joy to share these memories with you, Calvin. Keep living life with passion, look out for one another, and always remember to go big or go home. Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
And that wraps up another conversation from Beyond the Grave. Thanks for joining us on the Headstones and Microphones podcast. Remember, legends may die, but their stories never do. Please help spread the word by sharing and following the pod.